tripod. Do you have a tripod?
Nah, well, I do, but I'm like, bro, I'd rather just do it like as a real person conversation. You know what I mean?
Ah.
It's like you got the full setup, and then this feels like you got your setup, and you like calling one of the homies. You know?
Yeah, nah, I
Yeah.
respect that. I respect that, bro. Where are you from?
I'm from North Carolina, but I'm from Durham. Where
Okay.
I'm not sure how familiar you are with North Carolina, but where Duke is basically. Duke.
Oh, okay. Got you. I mean, that doesn't necessarily help me, but I
Hey
mean,
man.
I know I know the school, goddamn
Hey bro.
it.
Hey, wait, where are you from? Are you from Texas?
Nah, I'm from California. I'm from the Bay Area.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I moved out here. At this point, I've been here long enough. I could start saying like, "Oh, I'm from Texas." Nah, but I've been out here for like 5 years now, so
Shit.
been
Yeah,
there. I've
no,
been out here a
you're a
minute.
native now.
At this point, I was just talking to somebody. I was like, when you've been when you've been somewhere long enough to where you be like, damn, I remember that used to be a you from there.
You from there now, dog. You just
Like
speak
every
of
time,
changes now.
like when I lived in like when I first moved to Austin
Hmm.
and the apartment complex that I lived in, like it was desolate over there. Now it's
Yeah.
high rises, and I'm like, damn,
Yo.
this was like technically the ghetto.
And now look, they switched the whole style up now, bro.
Nah,
They
back,
throw out the weak buildings with the same template.
bro. Same floor plan,
Bro, they're everywhere. It doesn't matter
bro.
where you go.
It's kind of like dystopian in a sense, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
It's like they slowly wean you out of individuality. But it's almost paradoxical, right? Like they design structure and culture within America is at the point where they get all these cheap materials, throw it up on a template, like a simple template everywhere you go. And it almost discourages you from creativity, you know? Not from a person that I'm not necessarily a person that's that impressionable in that sense. But when we're talking about people that are just seeing things and like, well, this is just mundane and we have this system that's already curated for us, just plug ourselves in. Design also goes into play too when you're just subconsciously walking around an environment and nothing piques your interest. It's just every day plug, plug. Like you have
yeah.
to I'm gonna make it as concise as possible. But I don't know if you did you watch Fairly Odd Parents?
Oh yeah. Oh, I know what you're about to say
Yeah,
too.
bro. As soon as they switched up the style, bro, they ran into the other fairies and like, oh, what the freak is this? And you see, they get plugged into the machine, they get pushed through. Everything looks gray, black, and white, and then they just get used to it.
Bro, did you know? I want to say Method Man and somebody else is the voice actor for like two of the fairies in that show. So
What?
like when they used to do like the rapping scenes,
Yeah.
that was them rapping.
Are you serious?
Bro, honestly, I might have just scrolled too far on TikTok and I just started hearing anything. If it's true, I will throw it up in this video. But yes, I came across something. It was like, did you know that Method Man and so and so were the voice actors for these characters? I was like, what the
What? I would have never known that, but I know that check had to be clean though.
bro? Because they used to be rapping on there for real. Like they
Yeah.
used to be rapping.
Yep. Now I think about it, if they were that good, because I remember the scenes, I'm like, they were that good. It doesn't surprise me one bit, though. It
Mhm.
doesn't surprise me one bit.
You know what else too? Just going back to like you're talking about design
Mhm.
and one thing that I've noticed since I was a kid, like the Taco Bells, the McDonald's, the Jack in the Boxes, the Wendy's, all those things used to have like bright, bold colors, like
Mhm.
real whimsy. Like
Yeah, bro.
now they look like they look like loft apartments in LA. They got grays, whites, blacks, and that's it. Nothing is like
Bro,
unique.
everything is for optimization. Everything. So somebody told me recently, it might have been maybe a month ago, but they were explaining to me that the reason they did that is because now all these chains are no longer they're focused on growth, but they're no longer focused on getting the customer in. That now it's real estate. So they make
Mhm.
these buildings into these mundane environments. So where if they ever do run out of business or they have too much competition, they can just convert it and sell that building to a new spot and still be able to make their money back. So I'm looking at these buildings differently. I'm looking at these Chick-fil-A's and I'm looking at these all like McDonald's and Burger King, and you're looking at them just a little bit different. Like, oh dang, this used still remember getting a $1 McChicken, bro. Now they like $3, $4.
Sick.
It's sick
Sick.
work. And then also the second half of it is looking at these places and being like, damn, this place actually used to be fun to go to though. Not only was it cheap, but you can go pull up, get some cancer inducing food, and then also get like
Nah, you
like
talking that real? You
$5
talking that
fries while
real?
eating a cheeseburger, bro. It's the childhood ain't the same no more, bro. It's not the same.
Yeah. I mean, I'll speak for McDonald's in particular. They've always been like, for a while, it was like burger, we sell food. But
Yeah,
then I think they are in the retail space the largest, like as far as like um what's the word I'm looking for? As far as
like food chains.
like their game is real estate. It's no longer about food, it's real estate. Like they have like corner wise and like prime locations, like they got those on lock. So yeah, I
Sure.
agree with you. Absolutely. Cool. All right, what's going on, man? It's your boy Kloth, and I'm back with another video, man. Looking for my stars where I am simply not going nowhere, and this gonna be another segment of Kloth Talk. Now, again, Kloth Talk is just where I talk about the trends, topics, and sneakers and fashion. Listen, it's not too many people that when I see their style, I'm like, damn, I definitely couldn't pull that off. Sometimes I'll be looking at things, I'm like, baggy fit, this. I'm like, okay, that's doable. There are some people who dress where I'm like, I know if I put that on, I would look goofy as hell, bro. And this brother is one of those dudes, bro. So without further ado, our guest today is going to be Sherwood. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Yes, sir.
What's going on with you, bro?
It's good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm being completely honest, bro. Like I can't rock leather. I wish I could. I wish. And you got it on today, but like in your fit pics, you be rocking leather. I'm like, damn, bro, that look fly, but like I just can't do it, bro. I don't look good in it.
It's so fun to me because like as a kid, I remember like being like when I was in school, I would always look at I was big into anime, like really young. And then I used to see and I saw the Matrix movie or whatever, and I was looking at Neo and I'm like, and Trinity and all these people wearing this full like, leather fits. And I'm like, I need that. And it just makes you look cool, like just badass. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a type of mystique that comes with like a nice leather jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I think about like, old films, like, whatever, the dude that I pull up on a high school and he was probably 30 years old playing an 18-year-old. He pull up on a motorcycle in his leather jacket and like everyone's like, who's that? Or like you said, like Neo, or like so many times, or even like I want to say Shaft wears like a long leather jacket. Like it's just something about it that just like it's so dope. But like anytime I've had a leather jacket, it's lasted in my closet maybe 2 weeks or a month. I'm like, yeah, I don't look right in it. So, but before we even get into anything, how could I forget this? This is also a brother that get fly, but this is also a one piece brethren. This is a one piece. Like I think when we connected on that point, I was like, hey, no, he's solid in my books. He's good in my books. Like, it's not even a question. He's good in my books,
bro. One Piece is the best story ever written, bro. I don't care what nobody say. I understand the hurdle of being 1,000 episodes in and you're trying to catch up and you just can't get it. But if you really get locked in with One Piece, you can't go back, bro. You can't go back.
I can't go back.
Cannot go back.
Before we like again, I wanna pick your brain on this just like in the early half.
Yeah.
If there was any side character in One Piece that would become the main protagonist in the One Piece story, who would you want that person to be?
So I went back and rewatched the Baroque Works Alabasta art part. I always thought Mr. Five was cool though.
Mr. Five,
the dude with the boogers, the afro, he kind of looked like. I always like he was just. I always wanted to get like a little cameo of what the hell he does on a day-to-day basis. Because how would you figure out you eat a fruit and obviously you get like some type of knowledge of what happens. But I'm just imagining when he's a kid and he eats this fruit, and then one day he sneezes and just a fucking bomb goes off. Like
obliterate that block.
Bro picks his nose, says, "Wow." boom, like probably kill somebody, and they look at him and be like, "Oh, I don't think that was how I intended this power to go." And then what does the fruit look like? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. He was
So,
doing damage too. Like he was actually
bro,
putting in work.
the niggas didn't even know, bro. If he had a cold where he can set off a nuke. So it's
Bro.
like it as funny as that joint was, and how they kind of made that whole arc or the beginning of that arc kind of just comical. I think he had a pretty cool power outside of blowing boogers out your nose and then flicking them.
Yeah.
That was one of the people. But if I had to give like a real answer, this is I consider anybody outside of the main plot. I always like Akainu, bro. I'm not Akainu. Aokiji. Like he's not. He's technically a main character, just at the cusp of main character. But I've always liked his. I think when he first got introduced to him, he was just laying down chilling, and then I'm pretty similar to him. So like he was laying down chilling. They're running to him. Robin's scared as shit, and the rest of the crew was like, "Who the fuck is this chill guy?" And then he's like, "Oh wait, I actually have to do my job now." and just gracefully almost murders their entire crew. It is, and then also he had a depth to him that I felt that was interesting. One, you're like one of the first badass black characters that you run into, and then when you start to see his moral compass start to show a little bit more in like the flashbacks with Robin and letting her go, having issues with the government and realizing that it's corrupt in real time, and then trying to be the person that basically plays the spook that's out by the door, kind of, where you're this righteous person in this corrupt system, and then you get to the point where you have some level of influence and merit, and you just run into the wrong nigga, yo. One dude that don't care.
You said who again?
Aokiji.
Oh, okay.
It's like
for some reason I thought you said Kizaru, and I was like, I was getting it mixed up. Okay, Aokiji.
Nah. But I mean, he's also in that. He's in that realm now. Post killing your best friend, but like, I don't know. I just always thought Aokiji was interesting because he just seemed like the type of person that didn't care about what he was doing, but he kind of cared. And then when you finally ignite the passion in somebody like that, and they try to make changes and they get shut down.
Yeah.
Now he's on road. We don't know what the hell he's doing, why he's doing it, why he's joining Blackbeard's crew. You're just going with the plot, not knowing this man might really just save the whole day at the end of the day, but we don't know.
Yeah. I'll say one of the coldest Aokiji scenes is when he riding a bike across the ocean. Riding a bike across the ocean is crazy, bro.
He's so casual. He's just so casual with it, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll shoot the question back to you. Who would be somebody that you would think that should be the main character?
Man, you know, One Piece is just one of those. It's one of those stories where like you'll see a character and it's like, I don't really know, but then you get a backstory and you like, all right, now I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I would love just like, because they did some of the flashbacks, so you get some of his story. Corazon.
I knew you was going to say that. I knew you was going to say that.
Just a little bit more Corazon, man. Like, because the way he went when he like had law, I was like, no.
Put him in the chest,
bro.
I said,
bro,
no, not my man.
There's so many moments in One Piece where I'm just like, damn, they made me like get attached to this person.
It's so because I'd be scared because One Piece is very similar to. I look at One Piece similar to how I look at The Simpsons to a certain extent. When you're looking at a lot of the things that happen in real time and how he describes how the world is structured, is very reminiscent of The Simpsons, where you see things happening in real time. Like, say for instance, with the Epstein file shit, right? Like you don't get. They're not showing it exactly how it looks in One Piece. But then you start looking at the God Valleys and the hunting incidents and all this kind of stuff. These are things that really happen in these files. And then you're looking at One Piece like, you told us this before we even knew. So I'm looking at Oda like, what, you are deep in your conspiracy theory bag, bro.
And what's crazy is people have the nerve to say, "Oh, stop making it political. One Piece isn't political." I'm like, are we watching the same series?
Are we watching the same show?
Bro,
what? You just want what people really just want the action and the comedy, bro.
As
But
if Fishman Island didn't. All right, whatever, bro. Y'all
bro,
got it. Like
Fishmen, you got Buccaneers. All these people are black people, bro.
Lunarians.
The Lunarians, Lunarians, they're all black people, bro. So I'm just sitting here looking at all this shit, and I'm like, the people that getting oppressed in this show, he's just showing that they're black people the entire time. So I'm
Yeah,
just sitting here looking at this joint, like this man really is. It's deeper than rap. Like
yeah.
this man is a master storyteller.
Since you did too, I'm gonna throw another person in there that I feel like
Hmm.
got he got hold. He got hold.
You know, you're not about to say Ace, bro.
No. Because Ace has the light novel, so like
Yeah,
he has his own Virgo.
come on,
Bro,
that's
he
good.
got
That's good.
hold it in hockey and got obliterated. He was, I
Did.
think he was just a little too early in the story, and they didn't really have like hockey really figured out. But like, bro, he's coded in hockey.
Bro, Punk Hazard is also one of them arcs that is really slept on too. I really like Punk Hazard.
Yeah,
Punk Hazard is really good,
it's
bro.
decent.
But
It got stalled out by like the whole fake out deaths and like
yeah,
the pacing of it was kind of like somewhat
hmm
off. But I mean, I like One Piece, bro. So
bro.
I'm there for the ride. I don't give a I'm there for a ride, bro.
Every week, dog. I'm tuned in. I can't. They come back what, April 12th or 16th?
Yeah, because a lot of stuff is ending. A lot of stuff is ending. I know Hell's Paradise is ending. That's gonna hurt.
That's gonna hurt.
Fire Force is gonna hurt. That
Mm.
next episode is gonna hurt me, bro. So
Oh, this been a really action-packed season though. Like
yeah,
really good. Free run on season 2.
yeah, that's
It's
also
so
very
cool.
slept on. I
Mhm.
think enough people know about it, but I still feel like it doesn't get talked about because it's like more of that like slice of life versus like heavy on fighting. But like the fighting scene in there too.
Yeah, bro.
They gas.
It's so good, bro. It's like you'll get one episode where they're just, it may be like romance oriented. You know what? It kind of reminds me of what's the one they all called Mishiko Tensei? The one reincarnated, jobless reincarnation.
Never seen it.
It's like Rudy. I forgot his name, the name of the anime, but it reminds me of that because it has like a world building aspect of it. And then it's also kind of slice of life, but then it gets really dark really quickly. I love that type of anime.
Yeah, I don't know. This would be the last thing I say about anime because we could go. This really could be his old. This could be his old thing. Have you ever watched Assassination Classroom?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, that slice of life because like yes, it's fighting, but that's so good, and I feel like enough people do not talk about Assassination Classroom.
Bro, it's never gonna get its just dues, just strictly because there's so many other anime that have not a similar breakdown or like story, but I think there's just so many other anime that can jump in place of it that people aren't gonna say, "Oh, Assassination Classroom is like one of the first anime you should watch." You know?
Yeah,
when
that's usually Attack on Titan.
Basically,
I feel like Attack on Titan came in the game and took over. Like that's everybody.
It got everybody in the anime, bro. All the people that weren't already into anime prior to that shift, it got everybody into it.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, this could be his own. This could be an hour-long conversation just talking about anime. But I really want to, catch people up to speed. So if you could just give like a quick background of like who you are, how do we get to the person that's here today?
Yeah. So obviously my name's Sherwood. I started, let's go. I'm gonna make this as concise and quick as possible. Basically, I used to play basketball most of my life. I was pretty damn good actually. And
what position?
I got point guard.
Okay.
So I used to play at an Under Armour circuit, but basically I used to, I was just one of them kids that played it the entire life, but never really ventured outside of anything else, or at least just didn't have the time. So it got to some point where I just got tired of basketball when I got older, and I got around college time, and I got around the politics of it, and I didn't enjoy it anymore. So I stopped that shit. And then I went to college to North Carolina Central. And I remember, when the identity shift from athlete to regular person is very different. So I remember being in college like the first 2 or 3 months and just not understanding how things worked, right? As just a person that didn't have people just looking at you for something. So at some point, I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna do something else. And then I remember I started listening to ASAP Rocky in like 2015, and I don't think he necessarily started the shift, but I think it was just like exposure to it. And I started seeing outfits. I'm like, all right, cool, let me start wearing shit. And obviously the fits were boo boo, like hot buns, bro. I'm fresh off of hooping, bro. Hoopers don't care about dressing, at least not back then. So then I started figuring it out a little bit, and then people would compliment it, and I was like, I might actually be good at this. So then throughout time, and probably 2015 up until now, it was just a slow curation of what I liked and what I disliked. Got into thrifting just as anybody else does, and yeah, I mean that's when I feel like I got a certain level of style that I was comfortable enough with sharing with the world, and then start posting, bro. Started posting.
So when is that? Take me to that moment where it's like you're building your outfits, you're building what you want to, your ideal closet to now I want to start showcasing this online. Like, where was that? How did that come about? Or
Yeah,
were you on social media already?
yeah. I mean, I was on social media, but I wasn't creating. I wasn't posting and stuff. So I remember the challenge for me with posting was I had some level of embarrassment with it. Like when I didn't have my closet ideally where I wanted to be, and I'll answer that really quick. But um, I it's a journey. Like when you're figuring out your style, everybody has a baseline. And I feel like your baseline is based off of your environment and your level of exposure, which I think exposure grows more with the more you access social media throughout time too. And you see other people dress different ways. But my initial framework and start was with streetwear. So I wore nothing but J's, and like I remember I came in with that Kanye shift, like 2016 shift, where everybody's
Mm.
wearing Jordan ones and skinny jeans and whatever, and oversized t-shirts. And then throughout that journey, just starting to figure out different things that I like more. So I looked into more avant-garde stuff, like just Rick Owens stuff and um, Comme des Garçons and a little AC Miyake. Just and those
Ooh,
people like
he
just
say.
these are the things that would pop up on my feed, or at least I would see people that whose style I admired, like Lucas Sabat. I would see his stuff and I'd be like, yo, this is fire. And then I started doing my own research and seeing different stuff. And then, just experimenting from there, bro. Like I slowly waned out of streetwear just strictly because it didn't fit my personality as much. And I got more into like I would say my style was more like a avant-garde, Americana type of thing, and like a mixture in between that.
I want to. I think if you weren't around, because how
Mhm.
old are you?
In 28.
Okay, so we were around the same age. If you weren't around, because I was in college in 2015, 2016 too.
Mhm.
If you weren't around and like aware of like what was going on, I feel like you and I don't want to be one of those people that harp on like nostalgia like that, but like you really missed out on a time of like that fashion. Cause like I'm gonna build the perfect 2015 fit right now.
Mhm.
Jordan ones, jogger pants,
Need him.
the scallop tees that came down to like basically your thighs, and a Nike dry fit hat. Oh,
Oh, you was the coldest in the game, bro. And it was so simple, but it was so good at the time, bro. Cause like and what was crazy was it was actually really hard to source that type of stuff too, like the long tees. And
mm,
you can get them. You can get them in like some fast fashion place. I remember Forever 21 was getting at that point, but they didn't look right. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really start getting good ones till I started learning more about like Fear of God and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is where they're getting this stuff. And you can't just source that from some fast fashion place versus now you can get anything you want
mhm.
where with a
I think
decent quality too.
I feel like that switch happened in like 2016. Like, so when it was like early 2015, it was hard to like where do you even get this stuff? But like, I want to say like midway through 2016, like Urban Outfitters and places like that started to catch
Mhm.
on and like started to carry it. But like no, like you said, it was definitely hard in that beginning half because like that's when I first got to college. And like
Yeah.
my style going into college was garbage. Like, it was garbage, bro. But then what I will say, like that time was great. The craziest part about that time is those scallop tees used to expose all this right here. Like, yo, I'm like, I look back at some of my old pictures, I'm like, damn, my whole neck and chest meat out, bro.
Dog, they were so good because I think they were versatile, bro. You can wear them in the summer, you can rock them, go on the beach or whatever. In the winter, you can still tuck it under and it's still gonna show on your fits. And the bomber jackets, like, ooh, that with the that tee with the bomber.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, bro. Even
Bro.
you can rock it now. I still have I literally have one at the crib. I might just rock that. But
Bro.
yeah, bro. Those times were immaculate, bro.
I
Immaculate.
promise you, I can find, if you give me 2 seconds, I can find that. The bomber, I used to have this derby jacket, which I don't see a lot of people make derby jackets anymore, but like a derby jacket with the scallop tee was a filthy. I know I got that picture in my phone somewhere.
Those were a crazy combo back then, bro. And if you had any Yeezys, bro.
Oh my god. I'm about to expose myself. No. This okay. Before I show this picture though, y'all, like be cool, bro. I got a high top. I know it's bad, but like, bro, the scallop tee with
go crazy though. People don't know about them joints no more, but you try to wear them now, it's like people act like they're not really. See, you was on game, bro. That's when it was hot. When it was hot, bro, you couldn't tell nothing if you had that.
Bro, I'm telling you, like the fits used to be so wild, but like that was it. Like that was the thing to wear back then for sure. Like no question.
Everything had to be skinny, bro, other than a bomber.
Bro, and I can't even like now, and I've said this on multiple occasions. I can't personally see myself in any near future rocking skinny jeans. It's neato. I like to be comfortable. Like that's why I kind of weaned off buying like high ounceage like denim because like the 12, the 15, bro. Like I just don't have time for that. Like I just want to be comfortable. Maybe because I work from home, so like maybe that's a part of it. Like I just like to be comfortable in the crib, but I kind of weaned off like buying high ounce like denim just because like I want to put it on and I want to be cool, which is why like I love the brand Our Legacy because they make denim that you could put on same day and there's no issues, but it's still well made.
Yeah.
So
yeah, bro, skinnies. So I started opposite of you. I started getting more back into skinnies because I have a lot of boots, and a lot of my boots are kind of like summer silhouette, and I like that. Fortunately I have the type of body type where I can wear anything, but I think that it's just interesting when everybody else is wearing a certain thing and I can wear this full skinny fit, and you're like, yo, how did he do that? You know,
genuinely.
It's like it's interesting because I can literally throw on. Say for instance, this is like my favorite jacket. It's like it's All Saints Cora jacket, and it's super skinny jacket, almost like moto like, but very minimalistic. And then I can just throw them on with like a slim fit or skinny pair of jeans, and I throw on my Guidi boots. Killed the game, bro.
Like genuinely, every time I see your post, I'm like, I know I could not pull that off. Like I can't. Like maybe because like it's like a height thing or like you know the proportions, but like I don't have the build to rock skinny anymore. Like it just doesn't look good on me. And I think that's what a lot of people now in the current state of people trying to discover their fashion, they're missing that experimenting phase. Like you said, you started off with the streetwear, with the X, Y, and Z, and then you started to find and wean into things that you like actually have like a real interest in. People want to skip that process and go straight into like, oh, this is what I like because X, Y, and Z. Like there's no experimenting anymore. It's either your Gorp core, it's either your this core, baggy core, like it's either you're lumping yourself in a group, or you're lost. And it's kind of like unfortunate because that experimenting phase was fun.
And it's almost I consider this phase being I call it the model phase. Everybody or mannequin phase. Anybody can have something thrown on them and look good to them. You know, and it doesn't mean that. I mean, granted, I enjoy it because it allows people the opportunity that don't have as much understanding of how clothing works or just how it looks to just be able to grab something and go and still look good. Because I mean, just because they don't prioritize it doesn't mean that they shouldn't have the opportunity to look good too. But I do think there's a big disparity between people that do that and people that consider themselves FNs, like people that want to be like people want to be fashion niggas, right? And I don't like that phrase because that's I feel like it's one of those where people when people don't have a broad enough reference point on something, they have to label it. So they're gonna
Mhm.
toss anybody that's dressed as well into that same template, right? And the fashion niggas don't have that experimental phase that you're talking about. They don't have to go through wearing something and people are like, I don't know about that. They can just go run to Zara, grab some joint, and they look straight and like every other model on IG. But who's to say? I mean, I kind of battle with it back and forth, but the part that makes me feel like, why do they not have to go through this? Like, I had to go through this experimental phase. It's like the little kid in me, the ego in me saying, dang, when I was watching anime and these kids was like, this sucks. Oh, you're a child. You look stupid. That half of me flares up and I'm like, yeah, that's just ego, bro. It's like I just want to let people rock and do their own thing. If they want to experiment and get better at it, then just let them rock. I just know this is just a phase. Like people are gonna post fit pics, they're gonna grab clothes and throw it together, and then in about 2-3 years, it's not gonna be cool no more.
Yeah. But I think what does end up happening for people who do skip that phase, like,
Mhm.
yes, of course, like everybody's not going to be interested in fashion in the same capacity that I'm interested, you're interested, or like other people I brought on because like that's not like their main thing.
Yeah,
But like what does end up happening is what I try to tell people is if you miss that experimenting phase, you're gonna waste a lot of money. And we are living in a time where you cannot waste money. Like
yeah,
when I was wasting money, that was like high school, college. That's when I was still thrifting. I was still, being like things were a little bit more affordable and
mm,
accessible to me. But now as we get older, my style is to a point where like I know what I'm gonna like and what I'm not gonna like based on all the experiments that I've done,
yeah,
which I took care of that in the back end. So now I know if I look at something, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Or yeah, I'll buy that. Or no, I won't buy that. And I feel like people who are skipping that phase, they waste a bunch of money and they waste a bunch of time because like they didn't experiment. So they don't know what things are gonna naturally fit to like their aesthetic, I guess. Like
yeah. Do you feel like do you think well, I always ask people this, like people that are stylish, do you feel like it's hard for people to shop for you? Because
yes.
imagine you have a girl and you're like, okay, she wants to get something for you for your birthday. She knows that you like clothes. What is she gonna get you that's gonna make you be like, oh, she gets it, you know?
No, so I would say in my pretty funny. In my case, my
Mhm.
girlfriend now, she like the great thing about it is I talk about this stuff on ends. So YouTube videos, 30-minute long, Kloth Talks I talk about for an hour,
Yeah.
and short form video. Like she knows like certain brands too. Like my last birthday, she bought me a Bodhi piece. I don't give a fuck what the Bodhi piece is. You could buy me a Bodhi piece. I'm going to
Anything
rock
Bodhi, bro.
it. So like she gets it, but I feel like if somebody let's like say like my mom, like she'll
Mhm.
try to buy me things. I'm like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Or like brother, like I can't picture anybody else besides my girlfriend buying me a piece where I actually enjoy it because like I mean she watches my videos and she knows like the things that I'm interested in. So like she knows, but other people, no. Like if I no
Yeah.
no no, it's not working.
Mm.
Do
I
you
have
feel
the
the way?
same issue, bro. Like I have recently I've made friends that are I would say recently like the past 4 3 4 years maybe. I've made friends that can dress and they also just have a better understanding of what I like and what I dislike in general. And I think they've done a great job at showing me that I can actually put some type of faith in it whenever somebody's buying me a gift. Cause I'm telling you, bro, every time, like when you talk about your mom or like your brother, I always tell people whenever my birthdays come around or whenever they feel like they want to give me something, do not get me clothes, bro. I don't even want you to see my face because I'm the type of person where you show me something, I'm not gonna just be I'm not gonna disapprove. I'm just gonna look at you blank face and be like, oh thanks. And it's almost like, and I know how discouraging and dismissive it looks. And of course I know it in real time. So I try to like clean it up a little bit. But I just don't want people to go through that, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a few best friends that dress pretty well, so they do a really good job of getting me stuff. Like if I want to be like, gets around my birthday time, I'm looking around like, what y'all got for me? Like,
Nah, I feel you. I'll share this one story. I remember in high school, I asked my mom to buy me some Jordans. I didn't give her any further instructions. I said, "Can you buy me some Jordans?" She
mhm.
came back with some Team Jordans, and I am being an adult now. I know I made her feel so crazy because I opened the box and I was like, "Thanks." I was so mad. I'm like, but she literally worked and she bought like maybe those shoes are like what $100 or $80 back then.
Mhm.
She bought these shoes. She was like, "Here, I got you some Jordans and they Team Jordans." I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
No.
So yeah, nah, I definitely at this point, anybody in my life, give me that moolah. I will
Just
buy
give me the
that
money,
perfect thing
bro.
and I will thank you so much more for sure.
It's so much easier, bro. Don't even waste your time. You don't even, and it's crazy though, because I feel like a lot of people that enjoy gifts or like receiving gifts, they want something that's thought out like that. I'm not that type of person, so I'll be like, bro, just give me the funds, bro. Let me
Thanks.
give me the autonomy,
Mm.
please.
So I kind of like, now that we got a little background, we kind of understand what things are going on. Like I've been asking a few of, other content creators and I work within the space of like social media. So what do you think of the current landscape of social media? Like whether that's like influencers, whether that's just social media in general, just scrolling on it, because like I'm starting to see a lot more negativity towards influencers being like, "Oh, bro, gas is too high. We don't care about what you're doing because there's so much going on in the world." So, like, what do you think of the current landscape of social media?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing because social media is a I like to give analogies. So when you look at influence, I think of social currency as literal currency, right? So if you take literal currency or somebody has a huge following, 100K plus, I'm thinking of a millionaire, right? And did you see that new Jay-Z interview?
I saw bits and pieces. I didn't watch the full thing.
Yeah, so he basically alluded to this thing that I always agree with myself, but when bigger people say it, obviously it's gonna get better. It's gonna get more exposure. But the more money you have, the more good you can do. And I think that a lot of times it goes twofold. When you're an influencer, people come to you to see not just your lifestyle, but specifically things that or value that you provide. And I think that people forget that as an influencer, or at least a high profile influencer, there's only but so much you can do with your platform if you aren't a type of person that has a specific type of if you're the type of person that has a specific niche. If you're the type of person that people gain a following off of your personality and people enjoying your takes and how your life goes and whatever. that's a different type of that's a different type of power, right? But when you have people that have more educational content, we're talking about specific niches for business or marketing, all this kind of stuff. You can't taint that with there's a certain level of compartmentalization that you have to allow people to operate in. But um, a quicker, more concise answer, I feel like the influencer landscape is template based at this point. So years prior, when you see an influencer, these people were good at what they do. Now people have, I think maybe because of COVID, everybody thinks they can do something and not thinks they can do something. Like they're really good at getting people's attention. That's the whole point of being an influencer. You're able to get somebody's attention. And whether they're good at that or not does not matter. And I think now that you're seeing these political issues come up, the people have a lot less tolerance for seeing the lack of quality, I think, and they want more genuine raw content. And unfortunately, due to the times, genuine raw content involves concerning political issues and exposing that and using your platform to be able to provide that information to the public, or at least your opinion of it. And I think that it's just not, as a person that is a more private person in general. I mean, I post, but I'm a very private person. I think that the average person that doesn't create doesn't understand. You can't always expose your personal views on your platform. But needless to say, if you're a type of person that, again, we go back to being somebody that's grown in popularity of their personality or some type of creative pursuit, it's a lot easier for you to be able to express yourself in that light and use your platform as a way to assist the public or society, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to expect wisdom to go up there talking about Israel and all these kind of things. I'm going to expect him to post his stuff, post his day to day, post him getting a Mew Mew jacket and the button falling off. Like, I expect that type of content. I'm not going to expect him to ruin his sponsors and all and ruin his life for the sake of exposing things that everybody already knows about. You know?
Nah, I feel that 100%. I think people also forget that these are actual people too. And I think so many people live their lives online. That's like, if I'm not speaking about this on social media, that doesn't mean I'm not speaking about this in real time or like
Yeah.
what's going on. Like, yes, I have a social media following, but I also have people next to me, and we're talking about and discussing these things and trying to figure out like what's the what's the best course of action, what's the best, what's your views on this? Because like I've said this too, every opinion that I have on something is not for social media.
Mhm.
It's just simply not. Like some things, some of my opinions are so close to me that I barely share with everybody in my family. Like they're just
Mhm.
my opinion to have, and I discuss it with the people I discuss it with, and that's it. I don't need everybody to have the like. There's certain things, bro. Like, and I'll just share one that I don't like. I think it's pretty obvious. Pedophilia. I'm not discussing that. Like, if you think that's cool, there's no conversation that needs to be had. I don't need to
Yeah.
talk to you. I don't need to share my opinion on that. That is wrong. So,
Mhm.
like, I don't think I need to publicly say that for people to get that across their mind. But again, people live vicariously through some of these social media influencers. So like if they feel like they're not speaking up enough, but they follow this person, they're like, oh, you need to be speaking up because I follow you and I support you. So X, Y, and Z. But um, if you start losing followers and you start losing sponsorships, I'm not gonna pay your rent or your groceries. So unfortunately, you kind of just fucked yourself.
Like it's almost like practicality goes out the window, bro. Like
Yeah.
people don't get it. I think because even even as a smaller creator, right? Like I create videos and post pictures and stuff, but then it when you're a smaller creator, people feel like it's still a personal profile, you know? So people will say, "Hey, could you post this for me or can you do this for me?" And I'm like, "No. What?" And don't be wrong, like there's certain times where I'm like, maybe I should create a separate profile and strictly post the things that I like, my niche stuff, and then keep my profile now as something personal. But then the other half goes, bro, this is my shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like there's no reason that I should feel and mind you, I don't feel a pressure to speak about political topics, but it's like there's no reason why I should feel any type of pressure to explain my political views to people. Like it's almost like you're trying to prove yourself to a certain extent if it's not something that you naturally do, you know? So,
Mhm.
but there's a reason why I follow certain people that explain these topics and speak more articulate, like have a more articulate understanding or better at articulating their understanding of politics. And that's just not me. Like, but
Mhm.
I feel like I'm with, I mean, bro, I mean, all's kinfolk, we ain't kinfolk, but I just feel like I'm the typical black man that understands oppression, understands what how history has affected the general public, specifically black people and minorities. But these aren't things; these are personal topics. If I
Yeah.
was getting paid for this, or if I had a passion for it, I would speak about it. But there's no need for somebody to try to get me to do it if I don't want to, or if I'm not already doing it myself. You know?
Yeah. And I feel like this lands perfectly where I want to kind of like take this, next conversation to is, we've seen recently the whole Target boycott end.
Mhm.
But also just not I think people kind of got the Target thing misconstrued. They're like, oh, why are we only focusing on them when there's multiple other people? It's like setting the precedent for other people. Um, Target boycott ends, but then also a multitude of different, brands, companies also roll back DEI. How has this current climate in time changed the way you use your money? Because I feel like personally for me, I used to just shop anywhere. Like Target
Yeah.
for sure. It used to be a joke. Like you'll spend hours in Target for nothing. And like rolling back going to Target has made me realize I didn't need shit in there. And like certain brands, I won't mention their name, but it's a pretty big menswear brand where they had a whole jazz campaign and there was no black people in the jazz campaign, even though jazz is literally a creation of from black people.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, cool. I know I don't need to spend my money there. So like, has the current climate of just like the whole current administration, what's already been going on, because things have already been going on in this country, but has that changed the way that you spend your money?
Yeah, I think it. So the Target thing was big too, because again, I went there and shopped there often too. So, I mean, there's that's point taken. But I feel like more than anything, the political climate, I wouldn't say it necessarily changed the places. I mean, it's changed the places that I shop, but it hasn't changed my budget, if that makes sense. Like, there's other. The beauty of America is that there's other alternatives to get stuff where you want, and I think that I mean, I want to say the brand, but I feel like that campaign specifically was nothing that it's something I would have expected in general. Like when you go into these environments, I literally went to New York and went to that same store recently. So you go in these environments, and mind you, the people are awesome, but there's a certain undertone with these brands that we aren't welcome, and I feel like that's always been there, though. I don't think
Mhm.
there's ever been a time in history, even the brands that are trying to clean it up now, that are trying to use black models and minority models to supplement their prioritization of white models and um, propaganda. I think that the climate now, when we're talking about with clothing specifically, is so saturated that we don't have to pay the money to these big brands, especially the higher end brands, because I would say they still have the regalness and the nostalgia that's still associated with their brand and this association of luxury that's with it. But now these smaller brands are catching up. Also, them being exposed last year or 2 years ago for using the same type of materials as all these smaller brands, but upcharging 400 or 500%, it's put them in a difficult position, especially with influencers, and especially since they already only allow either the higher influencers or athletes to be able to be a part of their association or organization, excuse me. And I think that now with these smaller brands, they're making really good stuff, bro. There's no reason for me to have to go to some YSL store to get some nice leather jacket or some boots, or whatever. There's plenty of people making these great stuff without me having to feel like I'm being excluded from their campaign or their brand, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's just like a few that I'll highlight. A brand that I've bought a multitude of things from, things that like I know the dude never asked for a discount on nothing. I
Mhm,
paid full price for it. Chevron, Chris Jackson, his
mhm,
stuff. Fire. Hat right here, actually from Fitting It Now. Lauren
Mhm,
bought that from him. Like, there's so much out there now. Even my homie Keezy
mhm.
makes great denim comparable to Levi's.
Yeah.
I don't need to go. I'm not saying anything about Levi's, but I'm just saying like these smaller brands are basically tapped in with the factories that make the things for the biggest brands. And they're
Mhm.
probably making it better because like they almost have a chip on their shoulder because they are competing with these companies. But like I think in the past 2 to 3 years, being getting more into fashion, getting more into like, different brands and all this stuff, it's changed the way I spend my money for sure.
Yeah.
I try to support local people I know and black owned brands before I try to step out of like, going to like the Essays because I mean, listen, nobody nobody's making Issei. I'll just keep it a buck. I know Uniqlo tried, but hey, no one's making Issei.
Nobody's making that, bro.
like,
Nobody's touching that quality, that
like let's
craftsmanship.
be nobody's making Kiko. Like we just have to be for real. So like if I can get it at a smaller level, that's gonna be my first priority. And then past that, I'm gonna start getting into like the brands that like, are really niche. But like I definitely will say in the past year or so, once a company exposes who they are to me, oh, okay, cool. I'm not even go outrage about it. I'm not gonna post about it. I was like, okay, cool. So even when I recommend it, like I'm not even gonna recommend it to people. Like I'm just gonna not talk about this company no more.
Mhm.
And I think what the Target thing did, which was like a great result, is it shows that like it impacted the business.
Yeah.
Foot traffic was down, revenue was down, drastically affected the ticker, like the overall performance on the stock market. It's like, okay, so there is power behind where I spend my dollars. And I think that is something that's commonly known. This country cares about they
Mhm.
care about money. So if you start affecting the money, they go start cleaning up their act for sure.
Yeah, bro. I think it's also been just a overall shift of people being more aware of where they're putting their money. I think the Target thing was a good example explaining our how the community and how we can, if we unite, how we can actually affect a company. I think that there is I feel like from what I've seen, this is just like generalization, right? But from what I've seen, many more people feel a lot more comfortable with shopping, like you're saying, shopping at these local stores or the smaller and um, these smaller stores or companies, and don't feel as though they're missing out. I think there was a certain level of FOMO when you're buying these, or maybe a sense of elitism whenever you're trying to buy something from specific places. And like, say for instance, I'm the type of person where I'll just go to Walmart, bro. I mean, it's not that deep. And people are like, no, you go to Walmart. I go to Target. It's like I don't care. Can you get the same things there? I mean, outside of like hair products and stuff. Yeah. So what's the difference? So I think that just open people's eyes more a little bit. I think I always love the saying like people don't remember exactly what happened or how what you did, but how you treated them.
Mhm.
I think that that is more apparent than ever now. So when people are actually seeing how these people operate, they're no longer supporting. I wish they would do the same thing with technology, but I think it's just a lot more complicated with that. It's just a
Oh,
lot more
that's
complicated.
that is a whole
That's a whole different
different
thing, bro.
that's a whole different thing for sure. Um, I'm gonna ask a general question and I'm gonna
Mm.
keep it just general just to see what your response is, then we could build on it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're priced out of fashion?
Yes. But I think there's a certain level of accessibility that prevents me from feeling that way. But if you just say from a strictly objective standpoint, yeah. Because a lot of things that we're seeing, I'm a value over price guy. So when you're seeing these things and you actually see the real value of these materials and how long they're making these things, and they're not even really handmade anymore for real when they're making clothing, you're taking all the value out of it. It's like this is something you made with a machine. So I think the priced out thing comes from a lack of value to me. So now you're upcharging me for something that you did with less effort and
And
ship.
cheaper materials for sure.
Right. So that's where it's hard. It's a layered question, right? When you're talking about priced out. But I think overall the value of the dollar drops every day. So we're obviously going to get the same level of we're going to get a more expensive market in general. And I think that that is really more of the I wouldn't say it's literally a priced out thing from a fashion perspective, but just from an economic perspective. Everything that you get at a store is more expensive. Gas is more expensive. Clothing is more expensive. Your bills are more expensive. So it's like I wouldn't say it's a strictly fashion thing, but it's it's now more than effort. I feel like it's vitally important to remember that though these bigger brands are raising their prices, I don't think it's completely up to them to a certain extent, but I'm a control what you can control type of guy. If your quality is suffering and your prices are raising, that's when I'm starting to. That's where my brain goes when we're talking about like pricing out. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah,
What about
there's
you?
the reason I asked it like just as generic as possible is because like as you mentioned, there's so many layers to it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna throw in one quick joke real quick. The same $20 haircut I used to get when I was a kid, that cost me like $80. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
But there's a creator that I follow on Instagram, and he's been doing this series where he's, been digging up the archives on like product cups or like this chrome piece or like this piece, and how in the past 10 years, those same things that like no material change, those same things are like almost 500% increase.
Hmm.
Or, this pair of shoes that used to cost 198, now they're going for like $600. And it's like,
You got to be talking about the Margiela replica lows, bro.
I think he might have did a video. I think the video I saw was a product cups,
Okay.
which I don't know the exact numbers on how much it increased, but he's been doing a series where he basically shows from like, this year what it was costing on some retail site versus what it cost this year to get that same exact thing.
Hmm.
And I'm starting to feel it in a sense. And like, I'm not doing bad. I'm not
Yeah.
doing extremely well either. Like I'm in a very midpoint when it comes to like, finances, but like jeans being $200 and sneakers being almost 190, 180, that's the bare minimum price. And
Yeah.
like, don't even get me started on like collab pieces or like all this stuff. It's like, bro, a hoodie and a sweatsuit set should not cost me $300. Where are we as a country, bro? So like as generic as possible, absolutely, I definitely feel priced out of fashion. Now, do I make adjustments where it's like, okay, if I eat top ramen for 3 days in a row, and then I eat and I grab 16 potatoes and I just make a little scramble, I can go
Yeah.
get this Our Legacy piece. Like, am I doing that currently? Yes, but I absolutely, as generic as possible, do feel like I'm priced out of fashion.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
When you
That
have to
is,
move things around to get something that you want, you're priced out. Like
yeah,
you should not be. I mean, not even saying you should not, because you always people are gonna make way for whatever they want, right? But I don't think it's ever been this bad. But it's also a result of the economy too.
yeah,
The
absolutely.
economy has gotten to the point where it's like you don't even get to. I don't even get to go to the store and buy some shit without looking at the tag no more. Like I was thinking I was really making it when I'm going to the store. I could just buy something like, cool, I'm good. Now it's like, damn, I did want that $400 shirt. Damn.
That's when that's when you that's when you be at the counter like, I ain't got no discount, no first time buyers.
I
Like,
got some points in there somewhere.
damn, like you ain't, man, let me get your employee discount, bro.
Like,
Fuck with me.
please let it send you with it too. They're like, nah, just straight up.
Bro, it's bad, bro. And I don't know if this statistic was right. I think in the last 10 years it said that the dollar had dropped 10%. The dollar lost 10% of its value in the past 10 years. And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not even like a question of like, even if you do have the money, you're still paying a premium price on something that's not a premium good. Like you're paying the same price. You're paying a premium price on something that is not a difference in the overall experience. There's nothing to change. That same haircut that I get, it's the same haircut I've been getting. Why is it now $80? This used to be $40.
Bro.
I used to be juiced when I give him a 20, and then I had a little extra $5. I'm like, man, go ahead, keep the little $5. Now you better ask me for a tip, bro. I promise you.
Bro.
Don't ask me for a tip, please. Please don't ask me for a tip.
It's really crazy, though,
piss me
bro.
off.
And I hate it. Just staying on the haircut tip, bro. That shit pissed me off because pre-COVID, haircuts wouldn't go above like 30 to 40 max. Like you get in a premium cut, you're paying 50. Now people charging hundreds, bro. Like 100 ball for something. My hair grows back quick as shit too.
Bro.
But my hair grows back within a week. I paid you $100 for a week.
No.
Hey,
then it's like I ain't getting no massage, no complimentary beverage.
Bro,
it's just like, bro, like just
what
because
made y'all haircut that much more valuable now? Like that don't make it makes no sense. Value versus price. Like, what makes y'all haircuts that much more valuable? It got a point where I started cutting my own shit, and I was like, I'm not doing no worse than these niggas. So it's like, and I get to save my bread, and I'm learning the skills. So I'm like, I ain't even mad for real no more. Like, and it's crazy because like you really did it. Like when you cut your own hair, you get to the spot, and they're like, "Who cut you?" And you're like.
Oh my god,
that's what's really cold, bro. I started getting decent. I was like, I'm still working, but like when you get decent and your friends be like, "Yo, can you cut me?" Like, I got you.
Then you're gonna be like, "Yeah, that's 80."
Price going up.
Yeah. But like, absolutely, bro. It's just like, what sneakers just came out? Oh no. Calm Digger, a song, Nike collab. I saw these sneakers maybe three months ago when they like somebody leaked them or whatever. I was like, oh yeah, that was a must. That's definitely happening. For real. But then somebody in my Discord community sent that they actually dropped the info for them. Guess how much these sneakers are retailing for?
How much?
$400. 400 of them things. I'm not buying those shoes. I will wait.
Why? But my whole thing is with this sneaker thing, not even sneakers, just like the fashion game thing, right? It's almost like because everything's more accessible, they feel the need to make it more expensive to make it look like it stands out in quality. When the stuff don't be that much different, bro. Like when I'm looking at, I mean, obviously outside of like the big names, right? Like the biggest names. But when I'm looking at this stuff, I'm like, bro, I can just go grab this online real quick. And then the best thing, I love grilled, bro. Like grilled eBay. Like, bro, this is like it's the most beautiful time for secondhand sellers in general. But it's like it's almost like I don't even want to buy anything brand new anymore because I know the price isn't worth the value anymore. You know?
Yeah. Bro, I'm gonna show you something. This is where it's gone for me. These are all Goodwill receipts.
Damn.
Goodwill been feeding me lately. They have been feeding me. I don't know if it's because like I thought for a minute because I used to thrift shop in like middle school and high school. Like when it was like, you thrifting? What the hell? Like I used to thrift.
Yeah.
And I would say right when I got into college and right after I graduated college is when I started to see like Goodwill start to tank. Like you couldn't get nothing from Goodwill. It was basically like becoming like a drop-off spot or whatever for people to like send their stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of cool off, Goodwills. That's when I was like on Depop and grilled heavy. But I very recently have started going into Goodwills. I've been getting some, polo, military stuff, and like I've been getting some good stuff out of Goodwill. So,
look, you guys inspired me. One of my friends he went the other day. He found these loafers. I forgot the name of them, bro. But like, I looked at him. I was like, yeah, it might be time to get back in that thrift again, bro.
Yeah, just because like, again, in the case of these sneakers, and then like, don't get me wrong, these sneakers are fire, like absolutely fire sneakers. When I saw them 3 months ago, I was like, yeah, I need those. Now that I know that they're $400, yeah, I don't need those. It just does not make sense. I'm the type of person, even if I have the money, bro, $400, that's 3 pairs of shoes somewhere else.
Yeah.
Why would I spend? I could get a pair of loafers, sneakers, and some slides with 400 versus paying 400 for one pair of sneakers, bro. And it's like, I've been like that since I was a kid, bro. Like, I'd rather spend my money where it's gonna go a little bit further than somewhere that's gonna, like, I'm gonna only be able to get one thing versus being able to get 4 or 5. Like, I'm cool. I'd rather get 4 or 5 over
Yeah.
one any day.
I mean, it makes the most sense, bro. There's no point in paying for something. And the thing is, when you're buying something, especially if you're gonna pay for something super expensive, it's got to be something that you're gonna wear daily, or like not even daily, but you're gonna wear it quite often, right? And as people that we would consider ourselves like collectors and curators, we're not gonna wear this thing often. We're always gonna switch the style up. So I'm paying this price when the value isn't there. I was like, well, what am I doing this for? You know? And I don't think that's a very privileged understanding of I think it's a certain blindness to the state of the economy whenever companies make stuff that expensive. It's like, oh well, I know the customers want this even though they can't pay their bills. You're not getting it. And if I mean, granted, I wouldn't be surprised they sell out, but because that's the name of the game, is capitalism. But I'm bigger on impact, and I feel like these bigger brands like Nike is not doing as well as they used to, bro. Like when you're talking about people that love sneakers and stuff, yes, right, but they had a golden age 10 years ago. Nike and Adidas, right? They had a golden age, and now it's at the point where people don't look for those anymore. They're not looking for the newest Jordan drop or the newest shoe drop as often as they used to. Now it's just, when your money getting low, people got to spend it in better places, And then if you're also not getting the demand that you want, but then the price is still going up, isn't that kind of like opposite of how the supply chain works? So yeah, it's certain things that just don't make logical sense to me. And I think the clothing market, fashion market, sneakers, all that is at the point where they don't see people anymore. They see numbers.
Yeah. And I think what's interesting about the whole Nike thing is because like Nike reigned supreme. Like that was the end goal, whether it be for designers wanting to work with Nike, whether it be people who just want the, because Nike houses Jordan as well. But like, won all the Nike shoes and won all the Jordan shoes. And I think what no one had anticipated was 2020, or really let's say 2021, New Balance taking over the game.
Yeah.
And once New Balance took over the game, Solomon came in. And when Solomon came in, Puma came in, Reebok came in. And, I'm not saying they're competing at the same level because obviously Nike is still Nike. But it's like people start thinking about like, I kind of like these too. Or like, because at first it was like you want to rock the Nike, you want to rock the Adidas. But now it's like people are rocking everything. Hoka's, Brooks, New Balance, Solomon's, Asics. Like everything is now in a melting pot. Like sneakerheads that I knew that only rock Jordans, they got New Balances in their collection now. They got Asics, they got Sauconys, they got, all these different companies now in their closet. And it's just like they thought they could, which I think a lot of companies think this, like when your name is that big, no one can ever dethrone you. But I think we're kind of seeing that because that competitiveness is getting pretty competitive out there. That's all.
Yeah, bro. They no longer monopolize the market share. And then now that you have creatives that are working with these other companies, did it first, right? They reached out to these separate creatives and found people that have a really good understanding of design, structure, and creativity, and they partner with them and actually do something with them. Versus with Nike, they kind of like keep them on the tuck. And you got these people making these collabs with New Balance, and he's making these awesome shoes. Of course, people are going to gravitate towards that, and that's the everyday person that a normal consumer can look at and be like, that could be me. And there's, again, it goes back to that elitism thing where they had they had this beautiful run whenever everybody was operating off of whatever I can get that makes me stand out. Now it's not that anymore. It's like now people have a real love for the game, and they also have a purity. It's like a purity aspect that comes to it. People want to relate, and I don't think Nike has a relatable brand anymore.
Mm. Hell, Vans is going crazy.
Bro, relatable. When you
Bro,
didn't have no bread and your parents, bro, I wanted some J's. My mom be like, "Yo, fuck all that. I got some $40 Vans for you." That's what we
okay, so
rock.
you remember that too.
Yeah,
Like when I was in middle school, I vividly remember it was me, my cousin, my grandpa. He took us to the mall for back to school shopping. My cousin wanted the Creative Rex. You know
hmm
where they at. I wanted because he gave us like I think it was like $100.
yeah,
And I was like, I want Vans because I'm gonna be able to get 3 pair of Vans. Cause like there was like $40, bro. I remember walking into Vans getting like a checker pair, Velcro pair, and a red pair, and still having a little bit left over.
yeah,
Damn, that just pissed me off.
yeah, bro.
$100 used to give me 3 shoes. What the
Dog, still can go get you some food real quick, bro. It don't even
bro?
work like that no more, dog. You
Bro.
you have to you have to put that joint in your budget. Like anything that you get now is gonna be a punch to the gut. That's really what it is at this point.
Bro, I'll be at the store now. I'm like, hey, you gonna give me my shit? It's like I'm almost mad I have to spend the money. Like, give me my shit. What the fuck?
Uh, no, bro, it's it makes like, what we talked about, we alluded to at the beginning of the conversation. It makes people have to be a lot more mindful of where they're spending their money
Mm-hmm.
and where you, especially when you're talking about the experimental phase and people get skipped. When everything's expensive, we're gonna go for the home run. I'm gonna run into a Zara, H&M, and grab me a pair of pants or a jacket. I know it looks good. I don't have to go through that whole, hey, is this my swag, or do I want to create my own swag, or do I just want to look good? And I think it's the economy has forced people into the latter, just wanting to look good. There's nothing wrong with
Shit, they'd be like, all right, have a nice day. Man, fuck you.
that. Shit. Look, just take it.
um, and this is another question I'm always interested when it comes to like, creators or just people who are on social media, what their opinion is. But like, is there a trend that you're currently seeing within the fashion space where you're like, come on, like, what are we doing? Like,
I love this question. I think one thing that I have fell victim to too. Like the baggy phase was really cool. I did like it. It's when it starts becoming over accessorizing. I think that's really what it is. Like
mm,
over accessorizing. I think 8 gold chains on your chest. You got 1,000 rings on your hands. Like it's almost like it's um, a overcompensation thing. That's one thing I don't like. But I don't think that I wouldn't say there's necessarily one trend that I dislike, because I understand every trends are just trends, right? You're just wearing something and then it just goes on. But I would say like the over accessorizing with baggy stuff is like a major annoyance to me. Like when you see, because I think there's beauty in simplicity, bro.
mhm.
If I can throw on one chain and then the rest of the outfit just does what it does, and I throw on 1, 2 rings. I mean, obviously, I wear a lot of rings. That's just my thing personally. But I think that once it gets to the point where you're just overcomplicating the fit, that's when it really is. But I think it's at the point now where it's been so overcomplicated for the past maybe 3 years now, that people are going back to simpler outfits, just simple templates, bro.
Yeah, that's when they got the belt chain, they got the
Mhm.
snapback on the belt loop, they got a tie on, they got a jacket, a vest, and then they
Bro,
got a long coat, and then they got 6 rings on their hands, and they got 13 necklaces, and then they got a
bro,
bag with bag charms.
bro. But also, it's the blindness. I think this isn't necessarily a trend, but this is a perpetual thing in culture in general, right? We set the standard, right? Black people set the standard. This has probably been the first time I've ever seen that this is a style that is okay, baggy clothes is like something that I would consider black people making popular, right? In general. But I think that it's become a standard for like fashion influencers. But to see different ethnicities and races wearing them, I'm like, it feels a little bit odd because it doesn't. It's almost like it's just something that we were looked down upon for, but now it's something that's popularized. So seeing some young British white woman wearing a full baggy fit just feels weird, you know. I wouldn't say this like something that I don't want to say is I dislike it. It's more of a thing that I don't. My brain just doesn't understand because this is something that you just don't do.
Yeah, I made a video on this. I made a video on this maybe 2 years ago. There's a
Yeah.
famous clip of it's not an Oprah show.
Son Pierre, I am fed up with the way he goes to school every day, from his head to his toe.
It was a segment in some TV show in America where this mom was like, "Just look how my son dresses," and he had, mind you, the fit was fire. He
Mhm.
had like a snapback on. He had a vintage tee on. He was sagging his pants, and like the underwear was showing. And then he had like some sneakers on, and he
Yes.
was like, they're like basically saying like he looks like a criminal. He looks like this, and like I wish he would just dress better. And it's like, and I hate to be, I really sometimes, bro, I hate that I'm the vibe killer because like I do hate that like my brain thinks like that. It's like, damn, we used to be criminalized for this. Like
Yeah.
this is stuff that like you'll get pulled over for. This is things that like you'll get stopped and frisked for because you fit a narrative. But like me just being who I am, I can't ignore that. So like I do feel you, bro. When
Mhm.
Balenciaga makes sweatpants that have underwear infused in it, and then like it looks like you're sagging, I'm like, sagging used to be something that you would get stopped and frisked for.
Mhm.
You were the label that would get put on you in the 80s and the 90s if you were sagging your pants and you had baggy jeans on, they would think you were fucking about to run in somebody's house right now.
Mhm.
Like, and it's on runways, and it's crazy to
Yeah.
me. Like, it's
It's
wild.
it's almost it's just a clear what do they call it? Somebody was like, ghetto is just creativity not stolen yet.
Ooh.
And I remember seeing that statement and being like, this is the perfect depiction of what's really going on. It's they disenfranchise you with doing something that is different than the normal public. They make you feel less than, and then they steal the idea and upsell it and then say this is luxury. So say all this to say, it's just that's the only trend that I don't like. When there's a certain blindness to culture,
Mhm. I
and
mean, going back to that campaign, yeah.
yeah,
Like,
it's just and the craziest part is it's almost like they don't see people already explaining it for them. Honestly, they pay attention to analytics. This is their job, bro. There's no excuse that you doing a campaign like that without associating, without the entire campaign being black people. There's no reason why they should. I mean, granted, there's white jazz musicians, but that's not the birth of it.
mhm.
That's not the birth of it, bro. So that's what I would say. That would be the specific trend. Just I would call it a aesthetic dissonance.
Yeah. Damn, aesthetic distance. Goddamn, you're gonna need a dictionary for this episode. God damn, you've been talking that shit. Nah, that's I mean, damn, I didn't that's so interesting though. That's so interesting. It really is like hold on, say what you said again. You said black are like
Ghetto
get
is creativity not stolen yet.
that makes me think of like how people deem like I would say not people or generalized people. People who are in like a certain bracket, like high-end fashion. So like the Louis Vuittons, the YSLs, the Pradas and all that, like
Mhm.
they look down upon streetwear. And like the ethos of streetwear is to basically disrupt and like go against societal norms and kind of like, speak power to the people or whatever. But it's like streetwear is now embedded in high-end fashion.
It is high end fashion.
Like what y'all consider trendy and what's like the we saw it in the streetwear, like couple months ago or like a year or two ago.
Mhm.
Y'all just now getting on. And like there's a video. I don't know if you follow Brother with the Beard. But he made a post about somebody saying, like, I just like I don't know why people even want to dress like that. Streetwear is just so, basically demonizing it. But it's like everything that I see in streetwear today, high-end fashion labels are making the same shit,
Mhm.
ripping it, basically, like the same thing. So it's very, and I'm not saying like, streetwear as a whole wasn't just, we could say black people popularized it, but there's a culmination of different type of ethnicities that kind of like really help push streetwear culture forward. But like, I've never heard it like that. I'm gonna put that in the caption somewhere. I'm gonna steal that.
Please, bro.
I'll steal that. That's
Please,
fire.
it's everybody's, bro. But I think it's an interesting thing because I think now that we're older and we have a better understanding of what the fashion landscape looks like, and I don't think that there is ever going to be a disconnect between fashion and streetwear, right? Not as it's been there. It's always been a part of it, but I think that now, the influence has always been there, but now it's just so apparent that it's almost as if they kind of painted their own downfall, like just made it for themselves. Like they almost opened up a loophole for the smaller brands, like the Cody Phillips. Like that, whenever you take a little bit of influence from somebody and plug it into your matrix, other people that have the same reference point can see it, right? So when you're walking down the street and you see somebody wearing something like wearing some Bodie shoes, somebody's just thinking, oh, these are some typical looking Cortez, right? Like the Nike Bodie joints. These are just some Cortez. But then your reference point is, oh, I know that. So now it's almost like, okay, well, if I can make something that is similar in quality, it's there now. They literally opened up the floodgates for their own demise. So I'm interested to see what high fashion is going to look like in the next 10 to 15 and how they're going to preserve that level of exclusivity and luxury while all these smaller brands are making way,
No, absolutely.
Like, because now it's at the point where these smaller brands, not even smaller brands, these are big brands now, like the Who Decides War, like these are streetwear brands, right? But these are the bigger shows at Fashion Week. So
I'm sure like denim tears and stuff like,
dog, like, so I'm not looking forward because I can't get into some Balenciaga show. I can't get to some Rick Owens show. I mean, Rick Owens technically yes and no, but like I'm not able to get in these stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, if I can't get into those, can I get into these like, high-end street brands?
Yeah. Or even like Tom Bago.
Yeah.
I think that's like for that, yeah. And I feel like that's what I think people they minimize the little guys so much and they don't realize like these little guys have become major. Like I think it's somebody like who's a good reference point to use here? Like a Wisdom before he blew up. And like, trying to go to shows and like being like, oh, we don't really care, like, denying him access and stuff. And now he's like he's that person in menswear where it's like we want him there, but it's like I think that disconnect is kind of what you're talking about because like they will put off somebody because like, oh, you don't have the clout, the fame, but then that person becomes that it person. And it's like, I don't want to go to your show now. I remember how you treated me. So now I'm going to go to this show and I'm going to tell my supporters to go support what they're doing.
Yeah. And the craziest part is I've always thought this, and my natural framework is idealistic. I'm always going to think the good guys are always going to win, right? The people that are authentic, the people that want the best for people. And I think that when we're talking about the social media landscape, the people that are coming off like this are the people who are going to win in this next one, this next phase of social media. When you're talking about people wanting raw energy, wanting to just see people's day to day, or just wanting to see a less professional quality and more of a just a natural look. It's like, okay, cool, I'm doing this. Let me just show you my fit. Like TikTok opened up the floodgates for that too. It's almost like buying, like, you know, take all the entertainment, or not take all the entertainment out of it, but the entertainment comes from the fact that this feels like another person on the street, you know?
Yeah. I'm
But I
telling
think
y'all brands now, y'all better start getting tapped in with me, because
have
once I'm booked out a year in advance, it's over.
it's oh
I want to do a quick thing. I feel like I want to, like, you know, a lot of my conversations usually just, you know, conversation after conversation. I kind of want to always introduce something like to kind of break up that. I think the first time I did it was with Jay Tips, and I want to continue this on. But it's like the rule of threes. I feel like the number 3 rules my entire life. I'm also the third, so I feel like 3 is just like a really special number to me. So like, I got 3 questions for you, and I want you to kind of like, not kind of like, I want you to like answer what your 3 would be. So the first question is, if you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would that meal be? Second question is, if you could listen to one album for the rest of your life, everything else gets wiped out of existence, but you could have that one album, what would that be? And then if your house was burning down, God forbid, knock on wood, if your house is burning down and you can only save one article of clothing, what would that one article of clothing be?
the first one was meal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, ooh. I would. Yo, I don't. So I'm not a huge foodie. Girls have had to give me.
What?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's a conversation for another day. However, I do eat a lot of different foods. It's not. It's I've exposed myself to a lot of different foods. I would say something I could eat every day. There's this Tanzanian spot. I just like, bro. If you give me anything with like chicken and rice, so chicken adobo, like
Oh,
jerk chicken. But if I had one answer, I'll go Jamaican. I'll go like jerk chicken with the rice and peas, with the cabbage, with the
yeah.
plantain. I'll run that. I'll run that every day.
I had
Literally,
Jamaican food for the first time last year. Fire.
really,
Fire,
bro.
fire,
I'm telling you,
fire.
it's, it's so crazy, bro. The beef patty. Um, the second one was that the article of clothing thing? What was it?
Album.
Album. If I had to run one every day.
No, if you have to, you could keep one and then the rest gets erased.
Ooh. I would go. Has to be versatile. You know, I'm always gonna be a Drake fan, bro. So I gotta go that way. He has a song for every occasion. I could probably run Views.
Oh wow. I
I
thought you were
could,
about to go Nothing Was the Same.
I do like Nothing Was the Same. However, Views has everything that you could want. You know, it's almost like you can go to Island Ting, you can go kind of like slightly house vibes, but you can also go R&B Drake, you can go rap Drake. It's a super versatile album, and I think that it's one of my favorite Drake albums. If not my favorite, honestly, never mind. I'll be right behind that.
I think that dropped in like 2017. I remember I was in college when Views dropped.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It was so like, and I don't think it was as impactful as everybody or as his other albums, but I think that it was like one of my favorites. But I can run that one to the ground. Either that, yeah, I can run with that answer. And then
Article of
my
clothing.
article of clothing. If my house is burning down, this might be the hardest one. Um, I'm gonna say my Guidi boots, but strictly because one, they're the most expensive boot I have, but two, I feel like they're the only shoe that I could probably wear until I'm 40.
Hmm.
You know, I have other pieces that I feel like that I would need to save, but I don't know, something about the Guidi boots, bro. Like I feel like I can wear. I can. It's just that I can't wear them with anything. That's one thing I know I can't. But I can supplement all the other things that I don't have. But I can't get that boot again with that same type of silhouette. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I would run the Guidi boots. I can't. Everything else could burn. Everything else could burn, bro. Like yeah. Either, and if I had to do like a jacket, it would have to be this one. Like I just recently got it, but I think that it's one of them. It just feels regal, and then it's not something that everybody can pull off. So if I throw on the Guidi boots, mind you, both of these items are black leather, so it's like, you can tell what my favorite material is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it would have to be the Weedy Boots for sure.
So your rule of 3, let's just run through it one more time. So the one meal you can eat for the rest of your life.
Jerk chicken.
The one album that you could keep in the rest of Race Forever.
Views by Drake.
And then the one article of clothing you can save if your house is burned down.
I need my Weedy Boots, bro. I need my Weedy Boots, bro.
I respect that.
All that.
I respect that. I respect that. Cool. This is a conversation that I definitely want to end it off here. I think this is a trending topic. Whether you are into content creation, you're into tech, whether you're into just where the world will go in the next 10 years, is going to be a continuing conversation for humanity. How do you feel about AI? And then how do you feel about AI content?
Yeah, I think 19 Keys said it the best. Like, I think if you're AI is what I look at as just a resource. At the end of the day, it's just a resource. I think that if you have your own level of intelligence and creativity, it can only enhance it. Right. But the problem with AI is that people, one, don't understand how it works. AI has been here since the 1940s. It's always been within your grasp or just in your face, right? But you just didn't notice it. And I think the advancements over the past maybe 5 years and it being put in the public has frightened people based off of past films explaining the worst possible thing that could happen, right? But I think that it assists in exponential growth. Are we talking about Jesus? Everybody wants to call me. It assists in exponential growth when we're talking about from a utilitarian sense, like productivity. But when we're talking about content specifically, there's a lane for it, but I feel like it's one of those things where it can become very, specifically with social media, it can become very difficult to understand what's real and what's not. The only reason we're able to see these AI videos and know that it's AI is because the just pure absurdity of the actual content within the video. So if you just had a video, AI video that didn't do anything crazy, I wouldn't be able to tell, right? Of course, if you're a seasoned vet in social media or just in life, and like you can clearly see AI in real time, but there's plenty of things that we see that is AI that we didn't know. Like it's all in movies. Like all the things that you see in Avengers and everybody's going crazy that this is AI. Like it's showing you in real time things that you think looks normal. It looks right on screen as if you're literally there, but this is what we've been placed in. So I think that it's not I wouldn't say it's as dangerous as people say outside of the harmful effects to the environment and displacing people in specific jobs. But I want to say it's not I wouldn't want to discourage somebody and fearmonger them if they don't understand how they don't have a decent understanding of how AI can assist. So yeah, that's really my answer. A concise answer. I'm not pro AI because I see the harmful effects of it. But I can also say it does assist with how people operate on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a functioning, intuitive society without AI at this point.
Yeah, and it's not going backwards.
It's never.
That can of worms is open. It's not going backwards. I think this is where my frustration starts to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Because you talked about the difference between videos that you can obviously tell this is AI versus, gotta look a little bit harder. You can see like the hand may be like gone or like the finger may be cropped in. It's like, okay, that's obviously AI.
Yeah.
The AI that serves no purpose and we're wasting gallons and gallons of water to make a video of fucking like this person getting pushed, and then like a cow came out and that cow ran into a wall and it turned into a well. Like, bro, what the fuck? What is the reason? What was the purpose? You put this into a model for what? What was the goal? What was the goal for making this? Like, and then I made a comment, I made a post on Threads where I was like, I brought up how much water is wasted using AI, and they're like, wait, why does AI need water? I said, I share a space with these people, bro. Like, I share a space with these people, bro, that they don't even understand that
You know, in JJK when Higuruma hits the
like,
bro.
it's just like I hate the usage that I've been seeing for it. Like when you use AI to like, you know, it speeds up a process for, you know, work, or like you're using it to like, if you're not a designer and you're trying to like, you know, you're entering a prompt to help you with a design portion because you don't have that skill set, nor do you have the money to like afford that skill set. I get that. It's just like the pointless shit where I'm like, dude, like y'all are killing whole communities just because you want to make a funny video of a cat talking in a suit. Like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing?
Wasting my resources, bro. Wasting my resources,
bro, for nothing. Like, it's just so pointless. And the reason I brought this up is because, like, yes, AI is it's a tech thing, but there are companies now using AI campaigns. There are companies now they're buying the likeness of a model and then using AI to, you know, place them in different scenarios. So, like, do you think AI has a place in the menswear space?
I think the way the question is formatted is incorrect. Does it have a space? Yes, because it's already there.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a
Or better, let me
detriment to the menswear space.
Yeah, like what
I would say. Oh, go ahead.
I want to rephrase it then, because now that you say it like that, I do understand how that's like a. Do you feel like AI will greatly disrupt the menswear space on social media, within modeling, and all that?
1000%. It's inevitable, bro. Like, if you're at the point where you can, because every day, what we don't understand is every time we put our face up on social media, on these websites, we no longer control or own this content. So I think that's the beauty of Web3 that they're trying to create, where when you're creating things, this is your own property. But I think that now is more of, people don't understand you already sold your likeness. You lost your soul.
He sold his soul.
It's like, so it's already over, bro. You might as well just create your own shit and make a signature, a online footprint where people can be able to understand whether that's you or not. I think that's really what it comes down to. So that's when I say the authenticity tip of creators becoming more influential based off of how they present themselves authentically is going to be the next step, because it's at a point now where people can just create what you already do. You know, I can go online and I can use an AI model and create another Sherwood. So it's like, if you're going to be able to do that, what's the only way I can be able to have some level of, or prove my existence? That's really what it's got down to. And when you're talking about the modeling space too, it's cooked, bro. It's cooked. I think when you're talking about in person on runway, that's different, right? But we're talking about campaigns. That's where print is, where they're getting most of their money from, right? It's over unless you're already there for real. So this is my own personal opinion. It doesn't mean this is like literal fact, but it's gonna. When I say it's over, I think my brain goes, it's inevitable. It's like, this is Thanos just getting rid of the whole. It's not going to get rid of the industry as a whole, but will it greatly reduce the amount of talent that is going to be utilized for these campaigns? Absolutely. So if I don't have to think about it, one already didn't want a black person in the room, but now if I can already get your likeness without paying you a dime, why would I do that? what? What? And then I could also act as if I did. Don't you see it? So it's inevitable. You've lost your data. We're cooked.
No, you guys, we're gonna fight back, and we're gonna stick it to Chat GPT, OpenAI. We're gonna let them know.
Yeah, that's all
NVIDIA,
state of spade, bro.
we can do it. Yeah. Truthfully though, I'm somebody that, like, you know, I try to like think and sit back and like try to think about what the future's gonna look like. This is probably the hardest time to try to think what that's gonna look like because of how fast things are moving. It's like what they just figured out. Was it AGI? Automated like artificial general intelligence? Like that was supposed to be something that took another 3 years. They said we got it down. So it's like when I'm trying to think and like project like what the future's gonna look like, it's moving so quick where I'm like, God damn, like I can't even catch up. Like,
nah,
I'm still using the free model of Chat GPT. Like,
dog. Let me grab my charger. But bro, I'm telling you, like, it's at the point where now, if you don't understand how to be able to, I think the most important thing right now is branding. I would say being able to understand how to create your own brand, and not only create your own brand, but like develop your brand and be able to promote that in a way that feels organic is more vital. It's vitally important at this phase of technology, because at this point, it's at the point where if people can recreate, right? I mean, mind you, it's almost as if people have forgotten that the whole point of the machine isn't to assist you; it's to
replace
money.
I thought it was.
So it's like at the end of the day, if I can skip half of that, if I can skip half of the issues that come along with hiring somebody by just purchasing this subscription, why wouldn't I do that? You know, and I think AI has gotten it to the point where when you're talking about AGI, you're talking about these people are looking to create sentient beings. This is where it's getting to that point. Like these people aren't looking, they're not trying to get you to, I gotta put that up too, but like they're not trying to get you to a level of prosperity and peace. They just want to make $1. So I think that's whenever I think it's hard for people that are naturally solution-oriented people. We're having a hard time with trying to figure out how this is going to affect social media, how it's going to affect our businesses. Because it's at a point now where everything is getting automated, bro. Like I don't even think it's just an AI thing specifically. Everything that we're doing is getting automated behind closed doors to where we're getting priced out of housing. We're getting priced out of clothing. We have all these subscription models for things that used to be owned. Everything. It's like they don't want you to do anything. Nothing. So it's vitally important that I think it's almost as if I started creating videos and posting and stuff like that, all of my own, self exploration and expression. But the undertone of it is this shit is still a business too, and you have to treat it as such. And I think that now that AI has entered the picture, it has made it even more important to create something of your own so that nobody could take it from you.
Yeah.
It's your last step of autonomy, if you will.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think at some point it's not even going to be a question whether or not you have a side hustle. You're going to need a side hustle. Like these companies are laying off people by the thousands. You're going to need a side hustle. There's no job that's people job security has been a conversation since I was in college that I've always heard. And like, like we're always gonna need a CPA, we're always gonna need a lawyer, we're always gonna need, but it's like people getting legal advice from chat, people getting their taxes curated to better understand it through chat. So it's like, is you're gonna need a side hustle, or you're just gonna be, like you said, priced out of everything, housing, like clothing, food, resources, like everything's gonna be.
Yeah, bro. Everything's subscription based. You don't pay that subscription. No washy, no yummy yummy.
All right. So to wrap this up, man, what are something you are happy about? Let's not end on that note. What's something that you like, you're hopeful for, and like looking forward to?
Paradoxically, I'm actually extremely excited for the future in general. Like I think I come off as a pessimist, but I think in general, I think one thing that I would say that I've really enjoyed about social media specifically, and I'll say a personal example after that. But quick, it's just I feel that there's a shift where people feel this sense of openness to create. Like I like that people are trying. I've always been the type of person who's been an advocate for people trying and doing stuff, even if it doesn't matter if you're good or not. Just the fact that you're trying. That's all it is. And I've never seen this level of courage to be able to express yourself online the way it is, no matter how it's being done, right? And then on a personal note, I think I am excited because I feel like the type of creator that creates content that people, I wouldn't say gravitate towards. I feel like I dress unique, right? And I feel like I have a unique perspective on life, but I am looking forward to the future and learning how to be able to express that in a better light, or providing more value whenever I'm creating content. That's one thing that I've been looking to work at, and I've taken a little backseat at posting as often because I'm trying to figure that part out. But I look forward to whenever I do figure it out, and then whenever I do figure it out, it's to the moon.
Thanks. Love that. Man, again, it's a weekend day. You could be doing anything. You chopped it up with me for almost 2 hours, bro. I thoroughly enjoyed this for sure.
The great talk. We got to do this again.
Nah, most def, bro. We most def. I really like, it's so dope meeting so many people where it's like, I started this because like, I wanted to have more conversations with other people outside of just like my thoughts and opinions on things. But it's like, when you talk to so many people that live in different areas, I don't think besides New York, but like talking to people in different states, different time zones, seeing how like fashion impacts them and like the way they grew up, it's like, it's so interesting. And it's like, also, we've been following each other for a minute, placing a conversation now to the person I've been following on account, and like it matches. Like it's a dope experience for sure.
Yeah, bro. It's almost like you're getting pen pals. Like you just collected pen pals.
But again, bro, I appreciate you for being on. But without a further ado, I will catch y'all in that next one.
Love the way you work it. Hey, I love the way you work it for me.